converts your finished part or assembly into a photorealistic rendering. All right. The cool thing about it, like I said, is it almost takes a realistic photograph of what your part would look like when it would be finished. The downside of it is that it takes a lot of memory to render. So you'll notice your computer is lagging. Even if you're running a newer computer, it will lag your computer on all the memory and so forth. So you have to keep that in mind. The newer versions of SolidWorks, this is SolidWorks 2012, 2013. The newer versions of SolidWorks has Photoview built right in. On the older versions, even 2010, maybe 2009, it was a separate entity, so you had to go and look for it outside of SolidWorks. It's actually funny because in 08 it was built in, then 09 it went separate, then now it's built in again. The first thing you need to do is in your office products, make sure Photoview 360 is turned on. So when you come in here, click on Office Products, click on Photoview 360, and that should give you this Render Tools tab. Okay? The Render Tool tab is a separate tab that will be used to go ahead and apply appearances, apply an environment, and then go ahead and produce a final rendering of your rim. So the first thing I like to do is work from left to right on this toolbar. And the toolbar properties or the toolbar options are kind of just like they sound like. The appearance is the appearance of your object or assembly. The scene is the background that you're working within. Decal would be if you're applying images or decals to a model. So the first thing we're going to do is apply an appearance. And working down through here, you can work off just colors. Okay. You could also work off of a more advanced tab. If we go back to the basic tab, we can apply basic colors and so forth to this rim. Okay. There's shiny, dull, whatever you want it to be. So if you're looking for something shiny and you're looking for more of like a silver or chrome, you can go ahead and work in that aspect. Okay. You'll have to mess with this because there's a whole slew of options that you can work with in here. Okay, you could apply textures, whatever it might be. Okay, let's see if there's more appearances here. On the right-hand side, you'll also notice you have some materials that are already pre-selected for you. So let's take a look at our wheel. Let's say we're going metal. Maybe we want to go to a chrome, and you'll notice on the right-hand side these show up. You could go ahead and apply this chrome plate to it. It should have selected it. Now, what you'll notice, it may not look like its final finished product, but as soon as we go and render this, you should get this photorealistic view applied to it. So let's leave it on this polished gold for the time being. Maybe we're making some gangster wheels here, okay? So we got the polished gold. I'm going to check OK, and I'm going to go to my edit scene, and you could browse your scenes over here once again on the right hand side. I'm going to close up or minimize my appearances and work just out of my scenes. And there's basic scenes, there's studio scenes, presentation scenes. I'm going to say I want this reflective checkered floor. Okay. And you have up top here integrated preview, preview window, and a final render. The preview window should bring up a little preview of what this will look like. Your final render would be like your last option when you're going to go ahead and produce a final image of this. The final render would produce a high resolution output of your object. Now you take a look. This is my final render window that just popped up here. Okay. Here's my preview window. And you'll notice the size of it. You're going to want to make sure you take advantage of all the size. And you notice I click on this and it takes a while for it to load. Give it a minute. All right, this is where I'm saying that it is high in the memory of the graphics card and so forth. So it takes a while for this thing to go ahead and load. See, it just popped up there. There's that gloss gold that we were speaking of. Okay. The final render, when you want to final render this, let's go back and change some stuff. Reflective black. I'm going to change my appearance to, let's do a chrome.
Do chrome.
Chrome plate.
Chrome outer walls with like a red center.
All right, so we're going to do a chrome plate. If I, let's go over to edit appearance. There we go. And you will notice that you should be able to throw the appearance on certain entities as well. So in my appearance, it used to be this way in the past anyway. You could say I wanted a chrome lip with a gold center. That was just done by using certain faces. So you guys are going to have to take a look at that when when you guys have time to mess with this. So if I hit my final render, let's say this is where I want this. I'm good with everything. Go ahead and hit my final render. My final render window will open up. And from that point, you can save this image as a JPEG, a bitmap, whatever it might be. And ultimately, what you're going to do with this image is insert it in the top right side of your title block where your isometric view used to fall. So when it does its little render here, all right, I could hit Save Image. And let's just save this to my desktop and call it Kozlowski Rim. Okay. When I come to my desktop now, here's my Kozlowski Rim, which is just a JPEG file. All right. So with that file in SolidWorks, let's say I close out of all this stuff. All right. Let's not save that. And I will open my title block. And when your title block opens, obviously you're going to insert your different views that we covered in the previous lesson. But what you can now do is say Insert Picture, navigate to wherever you stored that picture. Your photo comes in. That becomes the photorealistic picture of what this part looks like. So when you go ahead and produce this part, you'd have your front, top, right side view. This would be the photorealistic part. Down here you could go ahead and say material would be steel with a chrome finish. That would give you an image of what the part looks like and all of the other technical stuff that would be required to produce this wheel. So Photoview 360 is really just used as a rendering tool to go ahead and produce photorealistic renderings of what your finished or final part would look like.